Welcome to the Mitten Music Podcast. A couple of guys just chilling, hanging out, talking about Michigan music, all the things that make up our Michigan music community. It is the Mitten Music Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We have a great episode lined up for you right now. All right. Well, today is an interesting day, Jeff.
It is. It has been.
Why do you say so?
Well, we had our first live show in your house.
We did. That was fan-frickin-tastic.
You were invaded today.
I was in more ways than one.
Let's just talk about one of them.
We can talk about multiple of them if we want.
Ooh.
All right.
Well, let's introduce who we're talking to tonight. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, today we have two of the members of the Cosmoknights here with us.
Hello.
Hello.
And who do we have?
Neptune.
And Jupiter, baby.
Neptune and Jupiter. So, let's highlight who we're missing. Mm-hmm. And we've only been missing them for a short time now because they were all part of the performance that we got to see, which is awesome. But stuff happens, life happens when you are a god killer.
Called back to the mothership. We'll put it back that way.
Okay, I was wondering
we'll get into the
things
god
happen.
killing will come up later.
Gotcha. Things happen, life happens, and it's okay. We were so appreciative of those guys. Everybody could make it here, and we got to see the performance. And now we get to, I'm just going to go and say it, the two most interesting guys in the band. I would, if anybody else is here, I would add them in too, but they're not, so I can't.
So who are we missing?
It's a little bit of shade on our crew, but
I'll make it up to them later this episode, trust me.
We'll take the flattery anyway.
Yeah. Besides us, we're missing Helios.
We're missing Helios, our
Pluto.
Incendiary expert. Let's, real quick, let's do a little introductions of the crew itself.
Okay,
shall we?
perfect.
So Neptune is, of course, our engineer. And he also manages, obviously the ship's engines and stuff, keeps us afloat. And of course, we found him on the planet Neptune, where it was after the god Neptune. Maybe a little more backstory. So after I killed Jupiter, I fled. Neptune wept over their brother, over their sibling, almost destroyed the planet, basically like that. Neptune sent a sonar pulse into the core and destroyed it. And then I recovered him. And then we made our way over to the sun after Helios, our incendiary expert. He's the one donning yellow, a beautiful, vibrant golden hue, flowing cloths.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Wonderful.
It was almost too bright.
Honestly, illuminating.
Yeah.
And we rescued him as well. He was captured, and we got him up. And then on our travels there, we crashed into an asteroid, right, that Saturn was living on. Now, Saturn is actually, he's our pilot. Now, here's the thing about Saturn, right?
That's why we crashed into the asteroid.
I was just going to ask.
That's right.
Who was driving the ship before that?
Most of our travels have been because we've been bumbling around on space. I'll admit to that. All right. I just say, please direct us. Right. I can't actually do any of it. But Saturn is our keys. Oh, I forgot to mention Neptune is on drums. Saturn is our keys, the pilot, cybernetic, cyborg, that kind of thing like that. Only 15% organic material. And then Pluto. Pluto actually ran away from home. And Pluto is our thinker. Pluto is our bassist. Pluto is our shields expert. And Pluto's down in gray. And Saturn is in green, of course. I'm in purple. And we have our lovely shades of watery blue over here.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
So, could you start from the top?
Yeah.
I was not paying it. No, I'm just
I see. Well, I only say it once, so we'll have to play it back.
So I do want to answer. Who was piloting the ship before?
Well, it's just like, it's a series of dials, a series of numbers and cables. We kind of like bumbled around for a little bit. Well, I'd say Neptune was probably heading the ship for the longest time.
I did my best.
Did his best. And I mean, the engineer has a good sense of it, but there's just something like Saturn connects into the ship. He's part robot. He's part cyborg. So he just feeds into it, right? He understands it better than we do. That's just kind of all it is.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I'm tracking.
Good. Yeah. Cool.
So how long are you guys going to be here on Earth?
Ooh, I mean, that's Who's to say? It's been we've been here for about 3 years, and we've been here originally to, outrun a little bit of chaos in the universe, of course. And, but we landed on Earth, again by accident. And now that we've been here, there've been, we say we're here for one thing and one thing only, and that is, of course, heartbreak and troublemaking, booty shaking, rock and roll. And that is true. But more than that, I would say, we're here to find out what it means to be human. It's such a wonderful little planet here, and a lot of beauty here, a lot of just really cool stuff. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Neptune.
Well, shortly after touching down to Earth, we put out an album called First Contact.
Yeah, that's true.
Live at the Pyramid Scheme.
That's true.
And so you can go stream that on Spotify and whatnot.
Deliciously awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. And then a culmination of that and some of the songs that were on that project is we're coming up on an album called Monster and Machine. And so that's going to be out end of October. And we are kind of some of those songs that were on that live album, and then some of the newer ones that we've been working on are all kind of coming together, but it's a fully produced studio album. And coming up on that.
That's going to be, what is that, October 25th?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All
October
right.
25th.
Approaching All Hallows Eve.
That's right.
You guys familiar with All Hallows Eve and the craziness?
We are familiar, and I mean, I'd say we embrace that.
I would
think
think
there's
so.
a little bit of people get a little freaky around there. People kind of release that. We're so used to like, a bunch of eyes, bunch of hands, tentacles. Sometimes I mean, you go crazy, and I think Halloween is probably. I think we relate to it a little bit the most.
It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Jeff.
Wow, that was
that was
in
Jinx.
sync, yeah.
Jinx, man.
I was just gonna say or ask you. So since you guys come from outside of Earth, right? You come here. How is your music similar or different than what you hear here on Earth?
Yeah. Well, I would say, as we've been researching and kind of understanding more about what it is to be human, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a picture that I saw recently, Men in Black. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
We're familiar.
Yeah, and that kind of like there's that kind of like vibe about like the aliens in disguise, kind of like walking among us and stuff like that. There's been a couple that I think you guys haven't. I don't know if you guys have picked up on, but like there's been a couple, like that kind of like David Bowie kind of
Like reptilians?
I don't know. I'm not necessarily reptilian, but like
You're just saying.
But I'm just throwing it out there.
How do you know
Probably
this?
not
Like,
the first ones.
You kind of recognize your own.
You're saying David Bowie was an alien.
I'm not saying anything.
You're saying you think he was an alien.
Brian, I'm just saying
He
what I
could
see.
have been one.
I'm just saying what it calls out to.
Or maybe he had contact outside of the Earth and was able to
Of
get his
course.
inspirations that way.
With his
Divine
music, he was just
inspiration,
telling
you
the
might call it.
story.
David Bowie, David Byrne of Talking Heads. Perhaps another one. And there's a lot of similarities there, but there's, I think, a lot of other things that are, I think, underutilized on Earth, in Earth music that we've been trying to utilize. And now when we talk about Monster and Machine, right? When we talk about Monster and Machine, it's the correlation, right, between the animalistic and the robotic, and the and is the human. Is the human within it. And so the monster side, right? The monster side that's not just like a creature of the dark. It's not just like a little creepy crawly kind of thing. It's like animals, you talk about pachyderms, right? Elephants, rhinoceros, all that kind of stuff like that. Birds, all these sort of things. And then the machine side, the robotics. And it's how these sounds kind of get meshed into our daily lives, or your daily lives, I guess. And how that what that music is that we hear around us that's not just.
I think within the band as well, like you have the robotic sides of the synthesizer and
That's
the programming and everything, and it's all very electronic. And then you have the more animalistic sides of like the drums and the guitar and things like that, and the voice.
The vocal going,
Yeah. And so it's coming together to form this mash of sounds.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. How did you find these guys, Jeff? Jeez Louise.
I just walked into a cafe.
Right?
It sprung on.
Yeah. I mean,
So you spoke, I'll just throw a little tidbit of question on there, as I don't want to call you people, I guess.
You can call us
I
people.
guess.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can.
Not to.
I should have asked you. How should I?
We'll accept people for the
Okay.
sake of this
Okay.
interview.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
So, man, now I lost what I was thinking. Okay. So, speaking of the gods, and you said chaos, and
Yeah.
have you checked out Chaos on Netflix? Jeff Goldblum,
No.
No.
where he fits right into all this stuff. It's all the Greek gods,
Interesting.
and he's the dad. He's Zeus, but it's like New Age, and everybody's millennial, Gen Z. It's like just hilarious. Like, it's stupid and dumb.
yeah.
I don't think they're portraying the gods as well as they should be. I feel like we could learn quite a bit from you, because
They need
we have things.
sparkly jumpsuits.
Yeah, they don't. No,
They don't
they're
have-
wearing flashy, nice Gucci clothes and crap like that because they're all rich,
Sparkle
right?
right
Oh
here.
my
yeah,
God.
they can't achieve that. Yeah.
But yeah, like we got to show people that, that's not what being a god's all about, and that's not what music in the space-time continuum is all like. I
Right.
could just keep going on. I'm just gonna make up words, but
There's a picture that it's not a picture, the television show, I suppose. It's called Cowboy Bebop, and I would say that one is probably a little bit closer to what what actually happens out there.
Okay.
So
that makes me feel. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah,
So you guys perform live.
that's right.
Yeah. So how was that experience for the audience and for yourselves? Like, what was that? Because you're connecting with humans there a little
Yes.
bit, right? So
Yeah,
I think something that when we said, okay, well, now we're going to start playing music too. Something that was always at the core of it is don't let people ever be bored. And I don't know, that was something very early on that was like, all right, if we're going to have these shows, it can't all just be theoretical music stuff. It was like there has to be a story, there has to be engaging. You have to not really know what's happening at a given moment.
As we came down here out in space, it's been a very lonely experience almost. Even though there's the five of us, we didn't all have each other, right? And so me personally, as Jupiter, it's been bumping around, farting around in the rocks and all that kind of stuff like that. And now coming down to Earth and having these shows as the Cosmoknights, right? There is a certain connective quality that has been so fascinating, and it's been so fascinating seeing people connect to even aliens like us, freaks like us and little like weirdos and stuff like that, and kind of really getting it, even though they're not from outer space, right? They sort of sometimes feel like they're from outer space. And that's been a very reviving and very invigorating experience. And along with what Neptune said, I think the biggest sin as far as a show goes, it's a show, baby. Put something on, right? When you're wearing just a PBR shirt and you're wearing you're wearing Nirvana shirt and stuff like that, and you're just looking down the whole time, make eye contact with me, flirt with me a little bit. I want to know we're talking the same language here. And I think as somebody up on stage, I think that's been something that's been very important to, reach out to them and bring people in on it,
I've absolutely noticed that about you guys. I've checked out a lot of live footage lately, right? You guys, not only do you put on a show, you're just fabulously fantastic at it, right? It's
Thank you.
like you can tell you're having fun. And then I have the live I've seen, I didn't see too much footage of the concert, the people out in the crowd, right? But I would have to imagine they were dancing and all stuff. When you guys performed for us earlier tonight, I could not sit in my seat. I was bebopping around. I was cowboy bebopping around.
Yeah.
Like I felt it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we like to, it's everybody's got to be shaking the booty. It's not just for us. That's, it should be for everybody in the audience. You should be shaking your booty.
Everybody's making trouble.
Everybody's breaking hearts, and everybody's shaking that motherfucking booty.
That's right.
And I don't know how people could not be moving.
Well, I think even if let's say they got to listen to your music before they saw you live and they didn't really jive with the music, they go see you live, that's them not jiving with the music, that's like gone. They see you live, you're like, oh shit balls, man. These guys are badass, and I'm having a great freaking time. The whole thing about them maybe, I mean, I'm just being serious. Like, like could you describe your style of music? I mean, you kind of have been in one sense, in an earth sense, concerning genres of music. Do you think of it any certain way like that, or maybe you don't? I don't know.
I think and Neptune can.
Well,
weigh
we
on
got to
this,
get
but-
shows, right? So we tell people. it's
Yeah,
dance
we tell
rock.
people dance rock.
That's right.
It's the
Dance
publicity. It's the publicity aspect. That's the part that we're figuring out. And it's a little the ugly side of Earth, right? But yeah, I would say. I mean, I don't think we're one of those bands that's like, oh, we transcend, different genres. But it's to embrace the different things that we like.
Yeah. And in a very broad sense, it's rock and roll.
Yeah. Dance rock is a great descriptor. Now that you said it, I read that somewhere, whether it was in your bio somewhere or another, and I was like, I can't really pinpoint another dance rock band that I would. I'm sure there are out there, but when I saw you guys, I was like, yes, this is dance rock, man.
Well, and you brought up people who listen to the music and but haven't seen the live show yet. And something that we really tried to capture with this album was like just the energy and the extravagance of everything. And someone recently described it as maximalist, and I think that there's kind of been a trend of minimalism in like design and other things.
To hell with that.
I love it.
Yeah. So,
Maximalist.
and we'll play the song for you in a little bit, High Class, which is our next single coming out. And that one is very much just driven to the wall it's filled with sounds and rhythms and things like that are very fun and over the top. But it's also thematically written about consumerism. And so there's an idea of maximalism of always needing more and more and more. And so, I don't know, there's a bit of a tie in there, but all these things are trying to kind of convey a bit of the live show experience as well.
Cool. So a lot of bands that we talk to that are here on Earth, they practice. They have like a weekly cadence, a lot of them. Is that similar to what you guys do, or preparing for this album especially?
Well, we're gods, so we meet every Sunday and we get together.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. It's the Lord's Day, and baby, who are we? You know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe that's blasphemous here on Earth, but not in space, I guess. But anyway, we had been doing every Sunday, and unfortunately, the things come up, and then asteroids been burning up in the atmosphere and all that stuff. And frankly, with the album and with another part of High Class, we've been working on a music video, as it's called. Yes, so we've been it's been hard at work for the past couple of months, just like push to make it all about. Well, we'll frame it as rather than a love letter, it is a hate mail toward advertising in general. And I can do a little preamble, perhaps. Are we? I don't know when we're playing it, but I'll do the preamble before I play it. Essentially, right? And this is the gist of the monologue that, of course, we cover before it. But from a young age, we're taught that things, drugs and alcohol, that lovely bourbon that you're bringing out.
3-chord bourbon.
That's right. We're not sponsored. Are we sponsored?
Nope.
I'm not
The
sponsored.
Sonic Coast is, and it's okay because I also work at the Sonic Coast. So
All right. Well, that bourbon and pictures of scantily clad people, videos of scantily clad people doing insensitive things. Those things are they're lowbrow, right? They're inelegant, they're disgusting, they're pathetic, right? But on the other hand, people will happily list their publicly accepted fetishes, right? A new pool in the backyard, a Lexus in the driveway, clothes Armani, handbag Versace, and a new watch, a Rolex on the wrist that says, "Go ahead and watch me, baby, as I rise to the top, because status is the name of the game and I just can't stop." But these things, they're not lowbrow.
No.
No, they're not. They're not inelegant. No, they're sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing. These things are high class.
high class.
And we can press the button.
High class pornography. I love the way it glistens and gleams. I love them big fancy houses on the covers of them magazines. Whoa, high class pornography, highbrow, and how could never hope to dream to indulge in such subtlety. Simply too much and too out of reach. So settle for a shot of dopamine from all the shots on your TV. 'Cause it's only pornography. High class pornography. What? High class pornography. High class pornography. High class pornography. High class
Pornography.
That's right. That's right.
Baby.
You got it.
That,
Right.
that was freaking beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy smokes, folks. Did you hear that? Well, you did hear that.
Yeah.
I edited it in.
Now they get the flavor of dance rock.
Yeah, that was
right.
freaking.
Yeah.
I mean, could you? I saw you.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stand still listening to that music
No, not
at all.
So,
it's just
And I
fun,
think it
depending on-
sucks, and I'm dancing, and it's terrible. Just joking. It's beautifully, magnificently amazing. I love this music.
oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It is. It's my jam.
Depending on when this podcast airs, it may already be out, but it's coming out early October.
All right.
As well as the music video along with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the video.
1st.
Yeah.
October 1st.
October
1st, yeah.
First,
Starting off October. All right.
Yeah.
So, what was I going to say about? Oh, the video though. I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Is it a? Because there's different type of videos. More live action video, or is it actually like, what do I want to say? Like more storytelling,
Oh,
like a movie type of,
I see. So is it like more of like a concert video or like more of like a narrative
Yes.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of A, a little bit of B,
Okay.
without giving too much away.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like, because it is kind of telling a story, but I guess it's more like, and you'll see, but it's like more of like vignettes of different types of ads. So it's like, talking about like magazine ads that we talk about in there, talking about computer pop-ups and like actual TV. There's something, and I'm gonna go on the record here. I'm gonna go on the record here, and I'm gonna say it. We highlight a certain, what I consider an evil television channel that it will say queso velcro queso velcro Cobra.
Ah, yes.
We'll
yes,
say
yes.
we'll say it like that, right? What I consider, but we've got a great segment all about it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
interesting.
So it's like all, and we got like billboards and stuff like that. So it's gonna be but it's funny you mentioned live action because there's so much green screen work in this that it's probably more animated
Really?
than like actually. Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare, but it's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful.
When the storyboard was presented for the music video, it was just so many different shots, so many different people, and like so many things happening. And I was
what
like,
the fuck is it?
and I'm gonna play drums in it. And Jupiter's like, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I feel like the drums is kind of what pulls a lot of it together. I mean, you got to
Yeah.
have a beat to.
For sure.
I might be spoiling something by saying this, but
Do
actually
it.
Saturn played drums on this one.
Really?
Ooh.
Yep. I was out of town on the recording date, and yeah.
Had to go pick up some spare parts for the ship.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there's been actually that's one thing about the Cosmoknights that has been really cool is like just the ability to swap around for a song, a performance, or a recording date or things like that, and have this flexibility and everything.
Right.
So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Are you saying there's imposter Cosmoknights?
No.
Oh, that
there's
could fill in.
associated acts.
You're just associated acts, though.
Ooh,
That's important.
okay, fair.
I would like to talk on that because we do have some associated. So obviously we've got the five main: Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Helios, Pluto. But we do also have occasionally will be like when you see Big Bang Boogie, for example.
Okay.
We are joined on stage by Luna and Minerva, two beautiful, wonderful voices to help lift the song up even further. These costumes themselves are actually bespoke, I might add, by Earendel, the furthest star, I believe, in the universe.
Whoa.
Handmade.
Wow.
They've got 8 hands. And then we've got Thanatos, who will occasionally help with shields, as well as base backups for if we are at a different star cluster and Pluto has another affair. So, but they're all very important to us, and I want to make sure
Yeah.
they're very well represented.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's cool.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It continues to grow
class.
into a bigger and bigger ensemble, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear the song just keeps playing in my head.
It's like an earworm. It's like,
It is.
It's like an actual advertisement, like an actual little jingle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the goal of it. Yeah, to worm its way in.
It's in my head. It's stuck there. So
So
nice
I
job.
always wonder about this, and that's going to be your first single. Now, obviously, the album's coming shortly.
That's our
thereafter.
third single, actually.
Oh, the third single.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew you had one out.
We have Queen of the Pack and Alien.
Yep.
Queen of the Pack was like, to be fair, it was like March or something like that.
Okay.
Or April maybe, yeah.
Alien
And then
was pretty recent.
Alien was late July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
July.
right. I forgot about Alien, but
Great
I
song.
kind of missed.
Thank you.
Queen of
That's
the
a good
Pack.
one, too.
Okay.
High Class is kind of a fun song, and it was the first song of our repertoire that I really fell in love with. And it's the closer on First Contact, which is that live album that we put out like 2 years ago. And at that show, there were a lot of people in the crowd who were seeing us for the very first time. It was a lot of people who had no idea, and it was the closing song. And you know how that song ends is it builds up to this big climax, and then the band cuts out, and it just screams pornography. But what happened at that particular show is everything builds up, and then Jupiter takes the mic and just points it at the audience, and you can hear it on the album. Is just all these people who didn't know who we were, just all screaming the word pornography at once.
Just like I was.
So gratifying.
And the ability to
Dude.
coordinate and collect all that attention, it was just so much fun.
That's beautiful.
That's cool.
So that's
Very
the closer there, but now it's exciting to hear it come to like full fruition in a well-recorded, well-mixed, mastered everything.
After all this, I don't know if I were you. I don't know if I'd want to leave Earth after having these feels and
That's
doing
the-
these things.
It's the qualm, right?
Right.
It's like we have other responsibilities, and honestly, I mean, we're a team banded together by happenstance and by necessity right now. But it's who's to say as we need to go our own ways or what we need to do right now, right? So we're on Earth for the foreseeable future. Don't get me wrong, but it's a hard life out there, hard universe out there. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder why or how you came to land in West Michigan, because that's really where most of
Sometimes I wonder
We wonder
that
that
too.
as well,
Yeah.
like what. Well, yeah. Why? Not only why did you land here, but why did you kind of sticking around in this area?
Well, West Michigan, and I'll say specifically Grand Rapids, because that's really where most of our roots have been. I mean, we've started going around other places, like Holland,
Detroit.
yeah. But Grand Rapids has been real good to us. And I think, we just made the joke. Sometimes we wonder that too. There's a certain, there's a little bit of a divide, I feel like, in terms of what's accepting and what's unaccepting. But the places that we've been at first time at Earth, first contact or whatever, it's been very welcoming of our alien brand, our alien selves. And falling here was by happenstance, falling here was by, as lucky as the Big Bang itself. But staying here, that's just because it's too damn fun.
All right.
And I'll say the music community here has been supportive as well. I mean,
That's
like
right.
I mentioned, like we got to play at that live album release or that live album recording everything. We were playing to a room full of people who didn't know who we were, and that was, I guess by the graces of like other bands that were like, yeah, come join us, and everything. So
That was Low Phase.
yeah, we played a couple shows
That
at
was
Low Phase, and they're a ton
At
of
Pyramid Scheme, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And so I think the community and the support, that's another big part of it.
Right.
Jeff loves Low Phase.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do too. He introduced them to me.
Oh, yeah.
They're
nice.
kick ass.
Wonderful people. Also, like people who've been crazy supportive is like Fabies and Ficus,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that.
Ficus.
Love them all.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: they're coming up for interview in the near future.
Oh,
Finally, it's only taken like a year.
Can't go wrong there.
And the songs you guys played earlier for us with the full group,
yes,
those are all going to be on the new album.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we played Pachyderm Blues, That of the Pig,
Yep.
and
Big
Big Bang Boogie.
That's right. And they're
We almost called it Big Bang Boogie Baby.
I call them, yeah.
Sometimes we do.
I love me some alliteration. I love just like as many of the same consonant back right in a row, but
Fair, I got.
But
you.
after like the 10th time saying it, we just started
It's like, shut the
abbreviating
hell
it.
up.
Yeah, we had to cut off
Yeah.
one.
Do you fellas have any future shows scheduled that people can throw on their little calendars to make sure they go buy tickets ahead of time and all this, that, and the other thing. What do you got on the horizon?
Neptune, what do we got?
So, obviously, we've been talking about Monster and Machine, and what better time to celebrate monsters, machines, and whatever else you can conjure up in your brain than Halloween. And so, the day after Halloween, the Friday following Halloween, we are going to be headlining at the Pyramid Scheme. It'll be a first time headlining there.
Yeah.
Right.
Album release show for Monster and Machine.
Yeah,
right.
sweet. Album release.
At the time of us talking about this isn't officially announced, but
Fair enough.
it will be by the time it goes out.
Once it
But
is
we
official,
do have the
talk more.
lineup for the night confirmed. So we're joined by very good friends and guests, Big Timmy and the Heavy Chevys, which is going to be, I guess I would call them, I don't know how they would, I guess for all these bands, they might call their genre something different, but I would say that's very like funk, rock, jammy kind of thing. And then we got Ben Bailey, and he's like a R&B, gospel, gospel-y pop kind of artist, you know, that kind of thing. And then we got Short Panic, and we've
That's
been
right.
friends
Okay.
with Short Panic for a long time.
It is also important to mention that Short Panic has been very dear to us as well. As,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you might see somebody familiar in Short Panic, but he's not the same guy as in the Cosmoknights. Just to let you know.
Oh,
Okay.
He's got an evil
Doppelganger,
twin.
yeah.
It's just a not an evil twin, just a human lookalike. We'll just put it that. We'll just very interesting.
Yeah.
Jeff, have you heard of Short Panic?
Yes, I have.
I thought have we talked about him before? I feel like that sounds so familiar, but I can't place it.
I don't know
have
that
to,
we've
I'll have
talked
to look
about
them up
them
tonight.
on here at all, but I've heard of.
I think you've talked to me about them before.
Was it Big Timmy and the?
Big Timmy and the Heavy
Yeah,
Chevys.
I've heard of them,
Yep.
but not Ben
Short
Bailey.
Panic is, I guess, it's in the funk, rock, disco kind of thing. It's mostly instrumental, but it's very driven by saxophone and really tight, danceable grooves.
Really,
and that kind
a lot
thing.
of rhythm guitar.
Yep.
It's going to be a very funky night, and by that I mean a very sweaty night because everybody's going to be dancing their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they'll be dancing in costume.
That's
because
right.
It's
Yeah.
the night after Halloween,
course.
the Halloween weekend, and we're going to be
Perfect.
hosting a costume competition. as well.
Oh wow.
That's right.
Oh man, that'll make
It'll
it
be
even more interesting.
it'll be sweaty, drenched costumes. All around.
Oh yeah, for
It's gonna
sure.
smell ripe in there.
Oh man, open a window, man.
So when you guys aren't writing your own music or playing shows, what do you like listening to? That's give me something interesting that you like,
Yeah.
but that's not your own. Something, just something out there. What's something cool that you like? Surprise me, make me laugh, make me cry. I don't know.
Dance for me. I don't like. So obviously, we're talking about David Bowie and Talking Heads.
Yeah.
That's my personal flavor. And I draw a lot of. This may surprise you with the bell bottoms and the boots, but I have a lot of '70s. There's a lot of '70s bands
That blows my mind, man.
might be crazy. Might be mind blowing.
Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Hiatus Coyote, the new album, Love Heart Cheat Codes, I believe. But yeah, really, they're Australian and just really interesting mixture of like kind of jazz fusion, but then some of it gets really experimental and like pushes on like grading a little bit, but like I don't know, it's very I don't know, it's dissonant in a really good way, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I think my favorite things to listen to at this point are probably like either like there's a lot of like J-rock, like Japanese rock as well. There's a band called Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, which is like one of my favorite bands ever. And then like there's a lot of like Amel and the Sniffers. If
Another
you know,
Australian band, right?
they're Australian. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Hiatus
yeah,
Coyote.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. There you go. And then
I think
like,
that scene is popping off.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You got Tropical Fuckstorm and all that stuff like that. And I think Idols is Idols might not be Australian. But then there's another. There's like they're not a band, but if you go on YouTube, there's this thing called Putumayo Classics or something, and they compile like whole ass albums of like Argentinian traditional music, and then like there'll be like New Orleans soul, or there'll be, and it'll just be I'll just put like 4 of them in a playlist, and I'll just listen on repeat to all these different. It's great. I think we talk about like what other bands like what we do differently. I don't know if this is what we do differently, but this is what I like noticed like David Bowie and Talking Heads do, and like other like I think other great artists are taking like outside of. Like we're not.
You're listening to things outside of the genre,
Right.
pulling it.
Yeah.
in,
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the most I think that's
It's
the most
exciting.
fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Pudameo Classics, I recommend that shit.
Have you ever heard of Melt Banana?
No.
A Japanese, I'd call them more math rock-ish.
Maybe I have.
Weird,
Yeah.
weird laser noises out of the guitar. Like
How
Like
how
not-
old are they?
they've been out for about a decade, but they're younger. They probably got started when they were teenagers, or early 20s, so they're probably still fairly young.
There's another great Japanese rock band called Sakuran Zensen. They're so fucking just like they're like they're like fun rock. It's not
Yeah.
like oh my god, my ears are bleeding. It's
Yeah.
just like a bunch of like 5 dudes just having a good time. I don't wonder why I like them so much. They're great. I
Well, we
love
got
them.
4 dudes having a good time right now. I don't know.
Well, 2 dudes and 2.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. But melt banana. Freaking badass.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you hear the music and then the singer sings and you're like, do these go together?
Yeah.
And at first you're like, this does not go together. And then give it one song, you're like, whoa, yeah, this goes together, man.
You know, like talking on the influences of what really what we've found, the humanity that's really spoken to us. I do think like the 1970s, of course, but WWE.
Ooh.
But in the
What
most,
is with wrestling and bands?
but in the most homoerotic way, I think is the most important part of that. There's something about the pageantry
Yes.
of it that I think when you talk about a show, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what's really
Did you see the
Like the Big Show?
Billy Strings Grand Rapids show?
no, but you
The Halloween one?
Yeah.
I forget. It was the latest one. I think it was at Van
the fish from when he was playing with Fish
Last year?
a couple weeks ago,
Andel.
couple weeks
Not
ago,
the
or
one
a
with
couple
Fish.
months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay.
But yeah, Billy Strings had like a big like wrestling ring set up in the
That
middle.
was Halloween last year.
Yeah.
It was. He did.
Yeah.
I think 2 days.
Van Andel Scramble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks.
And all the musicians were dressed up in the
that's
different-
amazing.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
See, that's what, and you look at. I mean, that's like you look at Freddie Mercury. You look at Chappell Roan. We talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a real art there that I think comes with embracing the inner alien we talk about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I really like, I really like that.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm trying to use like some enthusiastic descriptive words, but I keep saying fantastic.
That's okay.
Totally awesome.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept.
You guys suck.
You can always change it later.
Yeah.
You
We
should
can.
show him the.
That's
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
you know, I'm kind of wondering. I was going to ask this earlier, but I really wanted to talk about the music. But I do have this question. I'm wondering. You know, they came about 3 years ago, and we
We
really
arrived.
sped up on this whole AI thing. Really, you know.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any influence into that?
Ooh. Yeah.
You know,
You're so advanced, maybe.
well,
Did you give us AI?
like don't talk about like it's a venereal disease over there. All right. All right. No, we didn't do that. Okay. Listen, it's a complicated subject, but I'll be the first one to I don't know what the word would to condemn it, right? We've had our own troubles with AI a couple sectors back.
Oh.
Right? I don't think we need to bring any more of that. I don't know. You know, maybe this is a controversial take. I don't believe it is at this point, but I do think it's a little bit of a poison.
Oh well, yeah. Maybe we can learn from
Some
you guys'
mistakes.
experience with that.
Yeah, light years away, billions of years ago, we saw that shit firsthand. And, but on the note of generation, I have something I'd like to show the audience
yeah.
if I could.
There.
Is
Is
this?
this a space comic book or what?
It's a magazine that we procured.
Oh.
It's a smear campaign actually against the Cosmoknights. So there's a magazine called Nebula Magazine, and now we're of course wanted fugitives. Right now, this is I mean nobody on Earth needs to know, but everybody out in space. So they made a little smear magazine on us. Do I need to bring this closer to the? No, are we zooming in?
Yeah.
Get the dogs in there too. So here we go. So as you can see, here is one of these magazines that we've procured, and as you can see, it's just a little history from our side of the the stretch, I guess you might say, our strat of the cluster. And so, of course, you got propaganda posters against us. There's a big bad god named Kalis, who after Jupiter and Neptune died, Kalis killed Pluto actually, and has been hunting after us for this whole time. After we assumed the gods' names and identities, whole thing. But anyway, so you look inside. There's a letter from the editor. Now, this is, of course, we've kind of touched up on this one, so there may be a couple notes, but there's just a lot of our songs from Monster and Machine. It's from, of course, like being the humans, but it's inspired from our history, right? From this Queen of the Pack poster, right? This Queen of the Pack movie poster and such. A high-class luxury ad, that kind of thing like that. Now, if you do purchase this and you listen to our album, there's actually a crossword. Oh, don't look at I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was done. Don't look at the crossword puzzle, but there is a crossword puzzle that if you listen to the lyrics itself, you'll get some hints on how to actually do it. There's also... this says like rewrite the blasphemy of the rebel hymn. Like, don't worry about that. But it is a fun little Mad Lib for you that you can edit along to one of our songs called Settling, right?
Oh, good tune.
That's right. And then, of course, we've got advice from a counselor, from a therapist. If you're in a cashback romance. This is the comic portion of it, Passion of the Pig. This is actually, we took inspiration from that for that of the pig.
Oh wow! Centerfold.
Let's not show everything. Then, of course, they did put their propaganda, their wanted posters in here.
Pachyderm chews.
That's right.
What the heck?
It's an enlargement pill for endowment, proper endowment, if you need that, which is related to the song Pachyderm Blues.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, of course, another propaganda poster. This is on the Starlight Strip. They just interviewed a couple people on I guess you'd call it like a Las Vegas kind of thing like that about us. Let's see. This one is it's a fitness model over here.
What?
She's not quite a fit. They're not quite a fitness model.
The amorphous blob.
The amorphous blob. Yeah.
Is that fit in space?
They're very. They're mixed. They're controversial, to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got the choreography to Big Bang Boogie. So there is a choreographed dance, which we could show, I suppose, if you and I wanted to do it.
Oh, good luck. I don't do that. I play drums.
Well, he can pretend he's playing the drums in the background. And then, of course, we've got a quiz to find out if you really are a Cosmonite.
Oh,
and
fair.
then there's an ad for clothing, and then there's a little wanted poster of our ship's standard. So,
how cool is that?
this is the Nebula magazine.
Yes.
How can we get our hands? Can humans
gotta
get their
come to
hands
the
on
show?
that?
You have to come to the show.
Oh.
We sell them at the show.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's, what is it? 8 credits right now? $8? Is that where we're
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that help repair your ship?
Yeah. It goes to
Keeps us
food.
on the road.
Yeah. It keeps us alive at this point. Yeah. Yeah. We're making bank off the stickers, really. That's what the...
Oh man. Thank you for spending this beautiful time with us.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for having us. Yeah.
Again,
Great.
I've been trying to think of words that I've been blown away. I don't get blown away that easy, I don't think.
Well, everyone has been trying to shut us down. Everyone has been trying to mute the
What?
unmutable.
That's
and
right.
so for you guys to have the bravery to host such a controversial act on your
truly.
show is really
We
great.
appreciate
Impressive.
Yeah.
I applaud you guys.
Oh, well, I'm feeling
Yeah.
good now. Oh,
I applaud you
goodness
guys.
gracious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good because that's bullshit, for one. We shouldn't be praised for this because anybody you talk to or listens to your music should feel the same way. Like, you don't
I thought
have
you were
to.
gonna say you shouldn't be praised for having us on. They're like, get the fuck out.
No, I'm just like I said, it doesn't matter if you hear their music one time and you're like, it's not my jam. It doesn't matter. Go see them live. You will change your tune. Trust me. I mean, not because I thought that. I've introduced you to a few people who said something similar, and then I showed them some live videos, and that was enough. And they're like, okay, yeah, I'll go with you when they come around.
Hell yeah.
So you guys are doing good stuff.
Thank you.
We appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you for having us.
So yeah, all these light years you spent trouncing around the space-time continuum, timeline and you come here and
nebulous.
Yeah, the nebulous. Shut up. It's my podcast. I should have went with that a lot earlier. That would have been good. No, we appreciate you guys so much for coming. This was awesome. We cannot wait to see you live. We cannot wait for the album. We cannot wait for the next single. High Glass was freaking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to be sharing this stuff. And yeah, is there anything else that you guys want to share with us? News, noteworthy, anything of importance that you want to get to the masses? Because everyone on planet Earth is required to listen to this podcast.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you knew that.
I
but-
didn't know it was federally mandated.
I think the biggest things are music video,
video.
October 1st,
Along with the single,
Mhm.
same. They're released at the same time.
album
Awesome.
Monster and Machine, October 25th.
Yep.
And then
A week before the
Yep,
the
that's a
show.
week before the album release show.
So
at
you
Kevin
better learn the sheet
which is
music.
November
Right.
1st.
Well,
I
if I'm
need to
gonna
learn
fill
all-
out the Mad Libs. I mean, I gotta be.
Yeah, the crossword puzzle.
I figured I would just try to learn every part for every instrument in case someone gets hurt and I need to fill in because
Good
I'll be
thinking.
there,
Yeah.
right?
You
Just in
would
case.
legally be entitled to being an associated act at that
Fair,
point.
yeah,
All
fair
right.
enough. So I will learn everything.
Good.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys.
Well, spank you very much.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform,
Or even our website, themittenmusic.com.
or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials.
We got Facebook.
We have Instagram
We got TikTok.
and YouTube.
We're all over the social media game.
Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listening on your favorite streaming platform.